bad men who do the raping, murdering, and warring. And who's allowing this? Weak men who won't stop them. Well, what do we need to surrogate that? We need good men who will. And this is the kind of trash PragerU is promoting. Of course, PragerU has always been the alt-light, or at least the alt-right for normies. The latest video, entitled Make Men Masculine Again, is by a punchable face by the name of X-White Woman. This is the reason why I'm an Asian Aryan, because it's the ideal that white women will eventually talk about bad men who do the raping and murdering and warring, and they don't like weak men who won't stop them. It sounds to me as if this whole white women ideology, or soccer mom third wave feminist fascism, has become fifth wave feminism. And fifth wave feminism, by definition, is basically white women who know that the critical theory or Marxist anti-white ideals of third wave and fourth wave are real, so they become fifth wave, where they say they're feminist, but then they revert back to this white house mom, where they said, I want men to be masculine. Now, of course, I'm not talking in the way with Lana Lockteff. Now, Lana Lockteff is light years away from this person. Lana Lockteff and Red Ice have nothing to do with PragerU. But this white woman we're talking about, this Allie something, this person is like the problem, and probably something Red Ice would call the enemy. But look, this is very important to study, because we have pretty much entered a acceptable form of feminism. I call it fifth wave feminism, which, by the way, feminism is just white women ideology. It really has just became a reason for white women to bitch and complain if white men don't act like white men. Observe the following. They say that women, look at these white women. We have one that thinks she's some like French anime character, a typical model you might see in that, and the typical polka dot bitch that listens to indie rock. But look, they say white women who are attractive to passive men, who looks up to her to be her provider, protector, and leader. Now, of course, Rush V has talked about the ideal of men wanting stepmoms as their girlfriends, and this has been a relatively new thing. And look, Arabic men, men under Islam, they have polygamy. They have all these women that take care of them. And if you're the man in the house and you want your woman to shave and suck your dick in the shower, then let that happen. I mean, why do you think they need to be a provider, protector, leader? This is the kind of bitchy transaction no one has ever signed up for. Again, this is not some MGTOW theory. It's the ideal that supposedly, you don't like women, or you want to get away from women, and you just want to be a male feminist. Well, it's not exactly feminism. Women are, it's this transaction they're putting, the bitchy white women transaction of being a provider, a protector, a leader, as if men are going to do that, bowing down on their knees. You see where this logic is going? You see where this logic is going? Men don't deserve to be a provider and protector and leader to these three white women coming out of a Wes Anderson film. And there was never no obligation to be that way. And then this Allie person from PragerU argues that every woman I know, wants a strong, responsible man. Well, what are your sources? Every other white cisgendered woman you're talking about. And of course, the Kiki delivery service woman with the white hair will say, yeah. Of course, the Vogue model you see in these magazines will say, amen. And of course, you'll see the polka-dotted indie rocker girl will say yes. Because it's all what white women desire from their ideal white man. You should rephrase it as every white woman I know wants a strong, responsible white man. Again, this is implanting the ideal that white women want a specific white man to act, but then they go and they charade under the ideal of universalism. Every woman, they're talking about POC women too. They're talking about Asian women too, as if they want a strong, responsible man. Again, I am not talking about MGTOW or Manosphere Jack Donovan way of men or Aaron Clarey theory, as there are values to masculinity which are good. What I'm talking about is how there's this new PragerU ideology of fifth wave white women feminism that demands the white men be strong and responsible, that they demand that they act like a fucking bootlicker Chad watching sports. This is a continuing problem. Now, what does this person hate? What does this person hate? She hates passive men. The passive, oh, what we're hearing, soy boy man. That has ironically been created in the far right Nazi circles. Being passive, you don't defend or protect or provide. Well, I defend and protect and provide for my girlfriend, but I had a Korean girlfriend which told me, I won't suck your dick unless you buy me Botox. Well, I didn't buy her Botox because I don't want to provide for her in that way. And you might say, and then there are a few women that would pretty much want to use sex so they can get me to use their daddy bucks to pay for their free time and use me as an account siphon. Well, there are pretty legitimate good reasons to not defend, protect, and provide against doxies and hussies. They're used as capital. And so when white women are asking, well, passive men don't defend, protect, or provide. Well, because we don't want to defend, protect, and provide women that do these things and manipulate men. It's as if you're putting up a boundary, a wall, a toll booth to say you can't date white women unless you defend, protect, or provide. I don't even think this woman has either read F. Roger Devlin's Sexual Utopian Power, noticing that all white women are going for their white male alphas. It just is. It's not a universal term. And she goes on to say that passive men don't do the things we have always needed men to do for society to thrive. Now, when I say passive men, I wrote an article originally on my Asian Aryan website at www.asianarianism.com about the good beta male, about there's nothing wrong with beta, the ideal that alpha, beta, delta, that was a relatively MGTOW manosphere thing. And what you had in that class, if you were a delta or beta, you went along with it. It was just until the recent last year or 2 years that beta became evil and alpha became good. And this has been affecting introverted Kentucky bumfuck kids in front of their computer living in their parents' basements thinking there's some kind of Chad alpha. Well, now PragerU is telling this to a whole mainstream of audiences of Republican bootlicker bitches, where they're trying to say, well, passive men don't do the things we have always needed men to do for society to thrive. Well, okay, society to thrive, you can have police officers, the military, government work. Those are normal jobs you have to keep up. But do you have to be a fucking Chad, fucking shitty music listening, drinking, dumb person doing these things? No, intellectual men, the higher man, rules these positions, who are smart in all ways. And yet, you have to be kind of like, again, in this booze drinking ideal of toxic masculinity, to be the men that doesn't benefit society. It's not even considering the fact that the metapolitical or the dainty elite artistic aristocracy creates these things, which I would be a part of. And they think, well, I'm hostile. Okay, if I like Peter Sotos or White House or Atari Teenage Riot, I'm hostile. That's what they're really saying about the passiveness. And finally, to tie this fifth wave feminism all in, that this enablers of wicked men, and here's wickedness. So passive men enable war and rape and pillaging, and it's because weak men are allowing it to happen, and they're enabling evil men who are doing those things. And therefore, this is the argument about the social Darwinian argument that the weak man is possessing evil ethics. and the more stronger and greater you are, you're passing a moral ethics. The ideal that, again, but they're not separating this from decadence. They never said that strong men could be decadent too, and strong men are mostly decadent. And it's true that the beautiful and strong men who say they're doing morally good are out snorting cocaine with any Hollywood actress they can find all over the world, while the weak man who goes to the school of visual arts and is stuck behind the computer doing weird noise stuff, yeah, that's an evil person. That's an evil person, and I'm spreading wickedness. I'm rounding you. I'm spreading wickedness. But going back, again, this is about bad men who do the raping, murdering, and warring, and it's because of weak men who won't stop them. Okay, to wrap, and we need good men who will. Good men. What kind of good men is that? Some dickhead bootlickers? Some dickhead bootlickers that are willing to do that? Make men masculine again. What sounds like a philosophy in the manosphere, something Aaron Clarey would say, is actually quite the opposite. It's make men white again. Make men this ideal of liking European things and stuff white people like by Christian Lander. And if you're not following that white standard, if you're not following the white interest, well, guess what? You're a weak man. You're a weak man because you're a soy boy hipster. You wear all this colorful shit, and you're trying to. And this is the stupidity. PragerU is promoting the stupid normie. The normie which the queer avant-garde elite is against. So why in the world that I have agreed 80% of most of PragerU videos, this is probably the first PragerU video I have found very insulting and offending, because it's not about doing the right thing. It's about white women. It's about what white women desire. And this is exactly why most white men are going to MGTOW and are not finding white women attractive anymore. Because they want Asian, or they want some POC girl to circumvent this, or at least be completely the opposite of this ideal European interest. Why would you be white if this is the case? And why not support war and rape and terror? That is what the violence is. Violence is golden, just like the Jack Donovan theory. And so, and really, what I'm trying to say here is that this propaganda makes me feel like I'm a complete outsider. Or, it's not that I want to be. I am kind of advocating to be an outsider. But what I'm saying is that this whole, if you're punk rock, you are definitely, signing up to say you want to be queer and you don't want to be normie. Why would you want to balance the level to be normie? That's just as bad as the SJWs and the Egalitarian Party spreading their cultural Marxist lies wherever. But the point of the matter is this blatant propaganda is white women for white women, and you could still be feminist while obtaining your stupid white men who are post-manosphere theory and kind of red-pilled, and still go in the normie class, or still, make things, it waters down things to a whole degree. And so I must be the most evilest person alive because I don't like white women. I am the most evilest person alive because I don't like white women values, and I'm not interested in that. And I'm not interested in upholding the bootlicking white men ideology of trailer park verbal and physical abuse man. I guess I am the passive person, soy boy, that the false alt-right self-flagellation nerds that they promote and yet ironically are. This is reality. This video is far from the truth than ever. This video is basically propaganda against queer culture. And it's propaganda against Asian Aryanism because it's assuming that the values of race mixing is bad, and that only a white ideal of the world should be upholded.